If these are the words you fear most, then you've never heard these words. This is the story of 3 inspiring Arkansas families. These parents all heard the words, "Your child has cancer," and through that experience, they've come to understand what true gratefulness really is. As soon as you meet Pia Woods and her daughter, Erica Harris Williams, you know they have a special connection. So when Erica found a suspicious lump under her arm and went to have it checked by Dr. Rhonda Henry Tillman at the UAMS Winthrop P. Rockefeller Cancer Institute, you can believe her mom was right there by her side.
When she told us the news after she'd done the biopsy, of course, we immediately broke into tears. And she just gave us a big hug. We did a group hug, and she just, left the room to give us some time together to come to grips with what we just found out. So,
a hug from a doctor, when does that happen?
Never.
Supporting Erica in every way became Pia's top priority.
She was my rock, Even when I would have meltdowns like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do this, or why is this going on? She was like, Erica, step out of it, and it's going to be all right.
Erica's treatment lasted almost a year and included chemotherapy, a double mastectomy, reconstruction, and radiation. Now that it's over, she and her mom can look back and see that sometimes blessings come from the most unexpected of circumstances.
I would say it probably brought us closer together, made us stronger. It also gives you strength to let you know that anything is, you can overcome anything. If you maintain your faith and you maintain your love and your support for each other, you can get past whatever life throws your way.
I think it will definitely help me to live a very fulfilling life, a purpose-filled life. So, yeah.
When Susan and Tom Strickland were awakened by a phone call in May of 2010, they weren't prepared for what they were about to hear. Their daughter, Emily, who was 20 weeks pregnant with her second child, had just been diagnosed with lymphoma. The cancer journey for this family and their unborn baby boy had just begun.
We got the news. My first thought was my daughter's health, and that's where I was focused, even though I knew she was pregnant. But for her as a mom, it becomes, the child you're carrying, how does that all work in?
We were in with our first oncologist, and he did, then he sprung this more news on us that not only, yes, do you have lymphoma, you're most likely going to need chemo and radiation to treat it, and therefore we would need to terminate your pregnancy. I just got into that mode of, we've got to figure this out, we've got to do something. I'm not going to sacrifice my son's life, but I also had a daughter at home that I needed to take care of, so it was just devastating.
Emily and her family immediately sought a second opinion from Dr. Peter Emanuel at the UAMS Cancer Institute and Dr. Paul Wendell, a UAMS high-risk obstetrician.
And we walked in, and they were both just calmly sitting there, and they calmly and told me, you're going to be fine. You don't have to terminate your pregnancy. We've already been talking. We have a plan. And they're like, you can even receive treatment while you're pregnant, but we've got options for you. And so, a whole new world opened up. That feeling of hope came back.
She immediately began treatment, and after 7 rounds of chemo, gave birth to a healthy baby boy. More chemo and a bone marrow transplant followed, but now, 3 years later, this family is healthy, happy, and most of all, thankful.
I just feel so grateful that we do live in Little Rock, and we do have the Cancer Institute available.
Most of all, I'm grateful for having a wife that absolutely fought her tail off for her family and her kids, and I think we're on the other side of it now.
About 17 years ago, Mark Pryor was being treated for what he thought was a basketball injury. When the actual diagnosis was found to be something much more severe, his parents, Senator David and Barbara Pryor, were right there beside him every step of the way.
Well, we thought Mark had an injured Achilles tendon. That was the diagnosis. And so he went to have it repaired. When they cut into it, they realized that it was much more serious.
Dr. Barnes gave me the bad news that I had clear cell sarcoma. And when he finished telling me all the statistics about it, we were all very concerned.
And all of them were in this room. Barbara and I were standing there. Mm-hmm. Mark was lying, and they, with a magic marker, they said, okay, Dr. Nicholas is going to do this, Dr. Sun's going to do this, Dr. Ewan is going to do this. And so each one of them had a piece of the challenge, I guess.
Mark's recovery took over 16 months, most of which time he was on crutches or in a wheelchair. With 2 very young children, Mark relied on his parents for their support and strength.
Well, I couldn't have asked for any more support than I got from my family. My parents were phenomenal. Everybody just rallied around and just did everything we could do.
We approached it as a family. We had the support of our family. We had the involvement of our family, and that meant so much. That was a great source of strength.
Although many years have passed, the Pryors still recall with very grateful hearts what Mark's cancer journey meant to them.
I think it teaches you that life is short and it's very precious. And I think also the most important things in life are often beyond your control.
We are most grateful for Mark's life.
We're grateful not only for his life, but where we would have been, or where Mark would have been at that moment in his moment of crisis without this team and without this commitment at UAMS of that fabulous group of individuals who said, we're going to lick this thing. And they did.